So from slips on the ice to fender benders, all this severe winter weather can sometimes lead to more trips to hospital emergency rooms. To give us a look at what's happening inside ERs today, I want to bring in Dr. Michael Herman, He's an ER physician in Ottawa and vice chair of the Canadian Association of Emergency Physicians Public Affairs Committee. He joins us from Ottawa. Dr. Herman, appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
My pleasure. Happy to speak with you.
So can you paint us a picture of what's happening inside your ER today?
Well, I mean, in addition to the typical chaos that's going on, as I'm sure you're aware, emergency departments across Canada are feeling a big strain in terms of capacity demand. When you add in a weather event like this, it really just adds another layer to the cake that we're dealing with right now. You have increases in traumatic injuries, slips and falls, motor vehicle accidents, and exposure incidents, so things like frostbite or things of that nature. So it really just piles on to an already overburdened emergency care system.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, so what kind of injuries do you see most often when weather is severe like this? When it's, well, I guess it's a mixture. It's slippery, but it's also very, very cold.
Yeah, and I think at least, for instance, in my neck of the woods, we had a warmer day yesterday, so you get the thaw of the snow freezing overnight and then layering on the snow on top. So you have ice that's often imperceptible, and so people even just going out to walk their dog or put out their garbage can slip, fall, and have various kind of orthopedic injuries there. And of course, not everyone is necessarily winter safe on the roads, and so you'll have an increase in motor vehicle accidents as people navigate very tricky driving conditions. So those are probably the most common types of injuries that we see.
And with ERs already dealing with flu cases and accidents, how does extreme weather amplify wait times and strain on the system?
I mean, it's, it certainly adds to the demand on our system there. Emergency department wait times are a very multifaceted phenomenon that, is reflected in both input and output through the department. But certainly when you get more serious injuries, things like car accidents and things like that we're able to take care of, as you said, you're putting a demand on an already overburdened system.
And what about vulnerable or homeless people? Are more of them showing up on days like this?
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, it's not an uncommon phenomenon that people have nowhere else to go. Shelters are full, warming centers aren't available. We see people who have nowhere else to turn, and so turn to the one place that's open 24 hours and is there to care for everyone. And really, this is not a medical issue. This is a social issue. I would argue it's a failure in our society's ability to provide for these people. And so, again, as in many other facets, it falls to us in the emergency departments to plug the holes in the social safety system. And so we have these people who don't have medical needs, but have the medical need of not freezing to death. So they're going to come turn to us for that kind of care. And, we want to care for everyone who comes through our doors. But really, this is an issue that I think needs to be better dealt with at the municipal, provincial, and national level of making sure that these patients are cared for in an appropriate manner so that we can focus on delivering our mandate, which is providing excellent health care and emergency care to Canadians across the country.
And how are you and other staff coping with the added pressure of extreme weather and vulnerable populations needing extra support?
It's difficult. It puts a big strain on our system. And I think there's both the moral injury of seeing these people, in this situation, nowhere else to turn, nowhere else to go, and coming to us for care. I think anybody with a heart is going to feel bad. But there's also, this is a very resource intensive population in terms of trying to find arrangements for them. And through no fault of these people's own, they create an increased demand on emergency services and can become quite labor intensive in terms of trying to find a disposition for them. And so I think it affects a team in that way too, in that it pulls our limited resources towards things that, again, are not strictly in the emergency medicine mandate. So I think these patients are suffering, and we're doing everything we can to help them.
And so finally, Dr. Herman, what advice would you give to people generally to try and stay safe and avoid ending up in the ER in weather like this?
Drive slow, and be mindful of your footing. Make sure that you're wearing good, appropriate footwear, and be cautious of your overzealous dog chasing a squirrel that might be running around. But of course, as always, whatever injury you have, we're always here and ready to care for Canadians and our emergency department. So if you have any concerns, our doors are open and we're ready and willing to care for you.
Well, we are lucky that you are. Thank you. That was Ottawa ER physician Dr. Michael Herman.